And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, after another unbelievable day's action at the World Cup. I am really starting to enjoy this tournament because it's just non-stop drama. We did start off with a little bit of a stinker in the morning game, but then Japan producing an absolutely incredible performance to come from behind to beat one of the pre-tournament favourites in Germany. Just an incredible game. So much effort put in by those Japanese players. Hopefully they'll have enough left over for their remaining two fixtures. And wow, are the Germans in trouble, because now they have to beat Spain in the next game to have realistically any chance of surviving in this World Cup, because you would expect you'd expect Japan to beat Costa Rica in the opening game on that day. Speaking of Costa Rica, they of course did get absolutely destroyed by Spain. A really, I'll say, scary performance from the Spanish. They looked well up for it. It looked very much like their 2010 team, the flowing, the passing, just all out brilliance. But with the greatest of respect, it was a poor Costa Rica side. And then, how did Canada not beat Belgium? Generally, how did they not beat Belgium? Let alone the fact that they even lost. Just Alphonso Davies missing the penalty. The referee and VAR somehow not giving them another penalty. And then so many chances for Larin, Backman, Jonathan David, Alphonso Davies. Just so many chances for the Canadians that were just wasted. And realistically, one long ball over the top and Batshuayi's put it in the net and Belgium win 1-0. Just a real shame, because it would have been great to see another upset off the back of the Japan win. But fair play to the Canadians. If they play like that, they've got a very good chance of winning their two remaining games, because like we said, Morocco and Croatia were poor. But another great advert for this World Cup. I'm really enjoying it so far. And hopefully it is going to continue today, because we have a lot more of the big favourites in action today. So before we go into that, let's look a quick look at the scores from yesterday and see how many points we got. And then, we'll get into today's action, where I'm predicting yet another upset. So we start off with, obviously, my predictions from yesterday. These were my predictions. These were the results. And it was only 2 points. I'm not really too disappointed. I'm here for the upsets. I'm not going to complain that Japan beat Germany, because I'd much rather see that than get a couple of points in this prediction series. So, 2 points on the day. Not the best, not the worst, but I don't think many people would have got more than 2. No one's going to be going for 7-0 for Spain in that one, and if you did, then fair play to you. But all in all, that brings my tournament score now up to 9. As always, let me know down in the comments how you got on in yesterday's games. And now let's look ahead to today, where we start with Switzerland and Cameroon. And I think this is a tough one to call. The Swiss are always a very tough team to read, and obviously Dave over here, if we get him in shot, is very interested in my prediction for this game, because as we know, all minions come from Switzerland. And I am going to back the Swiss to win. I'm only going to go for 1-0. I can see this being another one that's relatively boring, and I have actually just spoiled my next prediction, so we'll get onto that. But I'm going to stick with 1-0 to Switzerland. I don't see it being a very tough game, but I can see it being a low-scoring one. On to Uruguay and South Korea, and as you can already see, I have put 3-1 as my prediction for that one. I think the Uruguay are a very good team. Obviously, if you've seen my tournament prediction, what I think is going to happen in the next round when it comes to Uruguay. I don't think the South Koreans are really in a great place right now. They've got a blind Heung-min Son with his obviously eye socket injury. They've got Kim Min-jae at the back, but they've not really got a lot else on offer at the moment, whereas Uruguay have got the likes of Darwin Nunez, they've still got Suarez and Cavani, Federico Valverde on phenomenal form for Real Madrid, Bentancur on phenomenal form for Spurs, etc, etc. I just think Uruguay are a very strong team. I think they'll blow away South Korea. I can see it being more than 3-1, but out of respect to a couple of South Korean players that I do like, I've gone for 3-1 to Uruguay. Next up, it is Portugal and Ghana, and this is not going to be the game where I predict the upset, because I am going to go for 2-0 to Portugal. Now, obviously, a lot of the talk is about Cristiano Ronaldo surrounding this game. I don't think it's going to play too much into how Portugal play. I've seen them in the Nations League a few times this year, and they look like a very well-drilled team, the likes of Bruno and Bernardo Silva, Leao, Felix, etc. They've got so many attacking options, and I think Ghana have, sounds weird, brought in well. They've done a lot of poaching from other nations for this tournament. I know a lot of the other African teams have done that, but I've really liked the business that Ghana have done and the players they've brought in. I just don't think they've got enough to hurt Portugal. I really, really rate Portugal. Again, if you watch my tournament prediction, you know they're the team I've predicted to win the entire thing. So I'm obviously not going to back against them in this opener. So I'm going to go for 2-0 to Portugal in that one. And finally, we have Brazil and Serbia. Now, obviously, this is the one where I've gone for the upset. I'm not going to go for the full upset. I'm not going to say Serbia are going to win. I'm going to go for a 2-2 draw. Now, that may surprise a lot of you. I know a lot of people are backing Brazil to do really, really well in this tournament. But I've watched them play a few times and I just don't see it. And don't get me wrong. The only thing I want more than Brazil to be back to their best with the Yoga Bonito, the Jinga, skilling up everyone, winning 4 or 5-0 every game. The only thing I want more than that is for England to win the tournament. So, look, I would love to see Brazil blow Serbia away. And I know a lot of us would, but I just don't see it happening. I just don't rate this Brazil team right now. They've got some good players, but I wouldn't say they've got the most amazing players. They have a couple of good attackers, and that's really it as far as I'm concerned. And I look at this Serbia team, the likes of Mitrovic, Vlahovic, Kostic, Milinkovic, Savic. So much passion and energy and drive. They're the sort of team that are just going to kick Brazil off the pitch. They're going to try all their fancy flicks, and the Serbians are just going to hit them, and they're not going to know what's hit them. And yeah, I just have a feeling on Serbia tomorrow. It would not surprise me to see Serbia win the game. Obviously, I've gone for the draw. It would surprise me to see Brazil win this 4 or 5-0. It wouldn't surprise me to see Brazil win 2 or 3-0, don't get me wrong. But it would surprise me to see a similar sort of result as we saw with Spain today. I just don't think Brazil have got that in their locker. And I am more than happy to throw my hands up and apologise if I'm wrong on that. But that is going to be it for today. As always, these fixtures are available in the description of the video, allowing you to comment down below with what you think is going to happen. And as always, please drop a like on the video if you're enjoying this series and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the daily content. Ring that bell to get notified as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again tomorrow morning, same time.